We're staring down the barrel of a beautiful weekend of the college football season, and a part of that is going to be Oklahoma going to Willie B to play South Carolina. It's going to be awesome. Already gave you a full preview, prediction, breakdown for this game on the channel, so if you haven't yet checked that out, go ahead and do that for us. Also, make sure you're subscribed. It's college football year-round. We have both these fan bases. Get dialed in with us and be subscribed. So if you haven't yet, Oklahoma fans, South Carolina fans, no time like the present. Second half of the year about to hit like some drugs I've never done before. But make sure you're locked in here. College football, nothing but college football year-round. Last take for each side of this. We'll start with Oklahoma. I think we see the bounce-back material game here, man. I really do. And I understand the health part of this is and probably should be to some degree, if you're a logical person, concerning. Totally fair. The hand having some hardware in it, not a good situation. Not the throwing hand. Offhand, maybe. But Dr. Shin working on the throwing hand, I don't love that. But with that being said, full week now to get back healthy. Full week to get a little bit more usage out of that throwing hand. Then also on top of that, the turnovers we saw against Texas, I understand some of that probably is a health element factored in there. But to me, I'm looking more at those. I'm like, man, those don't seem like John Mateer decisions that he would typically make. Rolling right, throwing back across his body left and leaving it short the way that he did. Like, even if he was healthy, that decision isn't a good decision. A couple of those from John Mateer against Texas, to me, felt pretty uncharacteristic, and I put a percentage of those mistakes against Texas on the, hey, I haven't played football in a couple of weeks, more than I put it on, hey, my hand had surgery on it. Probably a percentage assigned to both of those, but I just think more of it leads on the decision-making side, and I think we see him be in a better spot here against South Carolina. On top of that, I think he'll get some more help from the ground game. Like against Texas, when you're running for less than 2 yards a carry, it's tough to get anything going offensively, man. It's tough the way that Oklahoma runs the football or wants to run the football to have none of that. Not even just like, not a high dose of that, but essentially none of that against Texas. That also leads to pressing and poor decisions. The way that South Carolina defends the run, spoiler alert, not great, allowing 4 yards a carry over 160 a game. So I don't know if we see Oklahoma go for 200 yards rushing in this game. But I think we see a little bit more on the ground to force South Carolina on the back end to at least honor that, which, again, should help some open windows downfield develop for John Mateer, and I think that he will, with another week of practice under his belt, be in better position to hit those. Last point on this, when it comes to Mateer bouncing back, just the way that the dude's wired here, don't you think he probably took that Texas loss a bit personal? Probably did some soul searching, probably did some game searching for himself and watching that whole thing back. I'd be very surprised if we saw John Mateer not bounce back with a little bit of vengeance on the road. It's Cocktober. I know that. You know that. He knows that. I think that John Mateer will have a much better showing in this game and will look a lot more like himself that we saw during the September months of the college football season. So bounce back game for John Mateer, my final take for Oklahoma ahead of this game. Now for South Carolina. My take there is this game will be won or lost at the wide receiver position. I feel like I say this a lot when I break down the Oklahoma defense. As good as they are getting to the quarterback, there is real estate downfield for someone to take advantage of. Now, nobody's really done it to this point. Even Texas didn't really maximize the downfield shots, but like Auburn, there were plays there. Just couldn't connect. Against Michigan, plays there that they connected on a little bit, but not enough to beat Oklahoma. Nicholas Harbor is legitimately an Olympic caliber sprinter that plays wide receiver. That speed mixed with the aggression that Oklahoma is going to have up front, there is going to be plays downfield. Now, you got to separate early because you're not going to have 4 Mississippi throw the football to the North Sellers. There will be plays downfield for South Carolina if their guys can get open and can get a just chemistry with Laura Sellers in this game working to where they can hit those explosives. If that happens, Willie B's fired up, pressure on John Mateer and co to answer. I like that world for South Carolina, but that's only unlocked if you're able to win downfield at the level at which nobody has to this point against this Oklahoma defense. On top of that, I think that a lot of what South Carolina will have to do outside of the explosive plays will be using that pressure of Oklahoma against them. Like I told you, they're one of the best front sevens in college football. They utilize that to their advantage with how they call it. I think the screen game is something to watch here. So as much as South Carolina's receiving core has to win downfield, they also got to win in space. Like Vandrevis Jacobs, Swain, I told you, Nicholas Harbor, those guys, they got to find a way to win with the ball in their hands as well. So when we call up the bubble screen, the tunnel screen, and you got your safety in the alley to make miss or that corner to dominate on the blocking side of things, you have to win those matchups. Because if you do, You give yourself a much more advantageous down and distance. You likely create some more, again, explosive plays we talked about already. And you give LaNorris Sellers a little bit of help here. Because I think LaNorris Sellers, as talented as he is, I don't like putting the game on his back against that defense. Now, could he find a way to, during the month of Cocktober, still be the reason why South Carolina wins this game? Sure, but I don't want to go in with that game plan. Say, hey, 16, you got the cape and the duffel bag today? Yes? Okay, great. We need that, because if not, we're losing. I'd like to see LaNorris Sellers have a good game, but have a better game because of what this receiving core is able to do for him on the perimeter against this OU defense. So, going to be an awesome one. I am jacked up for it. I know you are too. Make sure you're subscribed. Oklahoma fans, South Carolina fans, will have a reaction for you after the game. Another reason to be locked in. Cato on the ones and twos. Myself, JD PicKell, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will keep this party rolling as always. We will see y'all next time.